Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Well, I want to thank you. I know this is supposed to be, the fake news. I said that this is supposed to be a round table, but it looks like a rally. But it is a rally because we love each other. No, it is a round table, and we're here to really listen. We're here to discuss the Latinos and the Hispanic Americans. And I want to say you have a great governor. He's been fantastic. Thank you. I love you too. And we're really doing well. The country is doing numbers that like we've never. You will see next year is going to be. You had your greatest year ever, Doug. Last year, the best year you ever had. Then we had to close it up. We had to stop, and we saved millions of lives by doing it. We saved millions of lives, and then we restarted. And now we've set all kinds of records, and we're setting records. And I think next year you're going to have a fantastic year. It's going to be great. We're cutting taxes even further. And we're going to have big growth. A lot of good things are happening. But I'm thrilled to be back in Arizona with the... By the way, I just looked. I see Artie over here. You've done a great job with that. How's Albert? Is he good? Huh? Good guy. He's a good guy. Good job, Artie. So it's really great to be back. This is good. This is what the polls are all saying, too. As a Republican, Republicans don't do as well as perhaps they should, and probably some shouldn't do very well, but the polls came out, and we're leading Sleepy Joe by a lot. So it's a great honor to be here. But we're here to discuss my administration's unwavering devotion to Hispanic American communities. Hispanic Americans embody the American dream, and they are great business people, like this guy right here. They're great business people. Great business people. I know that because I've had to compete with them. They're not easy to compete with, I want to say that. Hispanic Americans strengthen our nation beyond description. You protect our nation as brave members of the military and as members of law enforcement, great members of law enforcement. You uplift the communities and promote our shared values of faith and family, community, hard work, and patriotism. It's really you're an amazing group of people, and I love you, and we're taking care of you, and I'm never letting you down. You'll never let you down. So we're glad to be joined by your fantastic Governor, Doug Ducey. He's done a fantastic job. Thank you. He's done a great job. Thank you. He really has. It's been incredible. And thank you, Doug.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Also, thanks to Arizona Republican Party Chairwoman Kelly Ward. Great job, Kelly. How are we doing, Kelly, by the way? Okay. Thanks, Dave. Arizona State Representative T.J. Shope. Thank you very much. Thanks, T.J. Arizona Corporation Commissioner Leah Marquez Peterson. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sergeant Jimmy Chavez of the National Troopers Coalition. Sergeant, thank you. And we have the law enforcement from all over the country. We just got Florida, all the sheriffs, all the law enforcement, Ohio, Texas, everywhere. New York, We got New York's finest. They said they've never endorsed before, but they're endorsing this year. That took a little courage, too, because they're in very unfriendly territory politically. But New York did, and we just got Chicago. Can you believe that? With that wonderful mayor. We also have a man that I have a lot of respect. I like baseball. I've always liked baseball, and he's done a fantastic job. Artie Moreno, the owner of the Los Angeles Angels, done a fantastic job. How is Albert Pujols doing? Good? Because I think he's great, huh? Good? And you have Mike Trout. So is he as good as they say? They say he's the best player. He said he's better. He's better, right? But they say he's the best player in baseball, right? One of the best. That's great. That's very good. Thanks, Artie. Congratulations on your success, too. Great job. Also with us are two wonderful Arizona Republican nominees for Congress, Tiffany Shedd and Brandon Martin. Thanks, Tiffany. Good luck. Good luck. Thank you, Brandon. And you have my complete endorsement. You know that. Complete and total, as I say. Complete and total, okay? And we'll be out working with you. We'll be helping you a lot. I hear you doing, both of you are doing really well. Very important. And Doug is working hard on that. Thank you very much. Joe Biden spent 47 years selling out the Hispanic American community, sending your jobs to China, raising your taxes, surging regulations. I don't know. He doesn't sound too good to me. It's coming up once every 3-4 days. I've been in every state. I've been in so many states the last few days. Yeah, well, you need a lot of energy to do this job properly. You can't be sitting in your basement for 4 days and come out. No, and then he comes out, and I like Delaware. I think Delaware is a good place, but you got to leave it on occasion. You know, I mean, it comes out. And remember, he didn't, you know, they say that his home state is Pennsylvania. No, no, no. He left Pennsylvania when he was young. It's not his fault. His father left, okay, and his mother. They left, but they left Pennsylvania when he was very young. And we just had a great ruling. Doug and I were talking just literally minutes ago. A federal judge, a very prominent, a very respected federal judge came out and ruled that they can't shut the state down any longer. It's too much. They can't do it. He said it was unconstitutional, and it was a great day. And we hope that's going to happen in North Carolina. We hope that's going to happen in North Carolina. We hope it's going to happen in Michigan, too, because it's just totally shut down. Well, you know what's going to happen. On November 4th, they'll open up everything. They're just doing it. On November 4th, they'll announce everything's open now. You know, we were only kidding. The fact is that November 4th, you're going to see it's going to all open up. It's going to all open up. It's politics. So if you know, and as Hispanic Americans, you know better than anybody, we implemented historic tax cuts and regulation cuts, the biggest in the history of our country, and we built opportunity zones that have really benefited your state and a lot of other states. And it's been great for everybody, really, African Americans. And if you look at the African American, it's what they've done and how that's benefited them. I was helped by Tim Scott of South Carolina, and he's a fantastic senator. And he came in the idea of the Opportunity Zone, but for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, and really everybody, it's been a tremendous success. Before the China virus came in, we achieved the lowest Hispanic American unemployment rate ever recorded, ever, not even close. Over 600,000 Hispanic Americans were lifted out of poverty in that short period of time. That's a record. All records, Hispanic American ownership, home ownership reached an all-time high, and that includes Artie's home, okay? That includes the home. Okay, that must be a nice home. I want to see that home. But it's the highest home ownership ever in the history of our country.
That's Dennis Ross.
And we built the greatest economy in history. And now we're doing it again. So it's called Make America Great Again. And I say, Make America Great Again and again. To do it again and again. And we added, as you probably heard, we added 3.3 million jobs for Hispanic Americans in the last 4 months. That's a record. So we're coming back very, very strong. I call it the Super V. In July, I launched the White House Hispanic Prosperity Initiative to improve access to education and economic development and opportunity for all Hispanic Americans. It's been a very big success. We have great people on the board. And we have that Biden would, as you know, terminate this recovery because if a doctor said, let's shut it down, we have all these records, we have retail sales records, everything. He said he'd shut it down, can't shut it down. Peaceful protesters, have you seen his peaceful protesters? These are not, they'll rip down your community. Many of these are Hispanic American small businesses, stores, shops, and they rip them down and they call it peaceful protesting. You see some of these reporters on television, they're saying, yes, this has been a peaceful protest. And over his shoulder, you know, it's a pretty famous clip, the entire city is burning down. And these are all Democrat mayors, super liberal usually, but Democrat mayors and governors. Republicans are doing very well. Republican cities and states are doing incredibly well. We're at records. We have been at records. We will be at records. And we don't have anything like this. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. And we've sent the National Guard into Minneapolis, and we ended it after a week and a half. They should have called it sooner. We would solve the problem in Portland in, I say, less than a half an hour. It would be solved. But they don't want to call us that. They don't want to call us in. And every place we've gone, we solve it immediately. We just, Seattle is an example. They took over a piece of the city, and we said, what are you doing? And we complained. We said, it's okay, we have to go in because we're supposed to wait. We're going in tomorrow. And we informed them we're going in. As soon as we did that, they had people go in, and these wise guys gave up. The so-called protesters, they gave up. They're anarchists, they're not protesters. They're agitators, and they're anarchists. So you see what happens with the anti-police rhetoric from that whole group of Democrats and their supporters. They're endangering our law enforcement. We love our law enforcement. Many of the law enforcement. Yeah. Many of the law enforcement, many of the law enforcement are Hispanic Americans, as you know. And, Biden is not a strong person, never was a strong person. In prime time, he wasn't any good, let's face it. And this is not prime time for him. This is not prime time. But he'll surrender your entire country to the radical left. And that's all they're doing is using him. He has no clue. So we will take this to a whole different level. What we're doing is taking it to a whole different level. We don't want to have a socialist country. We don't want to have, some of you came from parts of the world where it's socialist or worse. You know, it's called the C word, right? The C word. Because I think in many cases these people are talking even beyond socialism. And we're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let the rule of law really be be ruled by the mob. We're going to do it. We're going to do it properly. We're going to do it the way we're doing it. And again, remember, the top 10 are all Democrat. And then you go into the top 25 and you take a look at that. It's the same thing. It's all a Democrat problem, whether it's New York, where crime is through the roof. It's gone up in some cases 150 to 300%, not even recognizable. Or Chicago. You take a look at Chicago, what's happening. They had numbers that were just absolutely horrible. And where you're hearing, I don't even want to mention it, but so many people shot, so many people killed. Nobody's ever heard of this. This is a Democrat runs the city. These are Democrats, and they have no clue. They have no cash bail. They get rid of bail. They get rid of all of the things that you need. The police are afraid to do anything. They don't want to lose their pensions. They don't want to lose their life. They don't want to lose their family and their job and everything else that comes with it. And we have to give our great law enforcement people, we have to give them the respect that they deserve. And if we don't do that, they can never do their job properly. Thank you very much. And just in closing up, and I just say a few words more because it's so important to me, and your community is so important to me. But many Hispanic Americans came here to pursue the American dream, right? We all want the American, I want the American dream. We all want the American dream. This is, if you look at what they're asking for, it's like the American nightmare or whatever you want to call it. But we want the American dream, having left countries that did not have safe streets. Many of you, or your family, your mothers, your fathers, they left countries that were very, very bad, a lot of problems. And if we let this go on, you'd have that. And, you know, I often say we're not going to be another Venezuela. We love the people of Venezuela. We have tremendous support in Miami from Venezuelans and Cubans. We're not going to let that happen to our country. Nobody wants it. And you know who wants it least is Hispanic Americans. They want to see it less than anybody because they know about it more than anybody. And so we're not going to let that happen. Biden wants to take away your police. He wants to, I wouldn't say defund in his case, but I will tell you some of his compatriots want to defund your police. Let's face it. They want to defund your police. They want to take it away. I don't know who's going to do the job when they call up at night. You saw the commercial where you call up and they say, murder, I'm sorry, we won't be here for 24 hours. And then they say, I'm sorry, rape, we won't be here for about a week. We'll call you back in a week. And this is what you'll end up with. We can't do it. We have to treasure our law enforcement, and we have to let them do what they're good at. Another thing I think that's so important is that we're defending religious liberty, and Joe Biden will totally eliminate religious liberty. He's going to take away your Second Amendment because he's not going to be what I have put up with in the last 4 years to defend your Second Amendment. But you have to have your Second Amendment, and they're going to at least obliterate it. They're going to at least obliterate it. They're going to abolish school choice. They're going to abolish charter schools, and we're going to put charter schools all over wherever we can. We have so many people doing so well, and school choice. And we've been working very hard on school choice, and we'll get it very much achieved like we have. Nobody's done as much as we've done in 3.5 years. Nobody, no administration in their first 3.5 years. I say this, that I've achieved more for Hispanic Americans in 47 months than Joe Biden has achieved in 47 years. They don't call him Sleepy Joe for nothing, okay? But a vote for Republicans this November is a vote for the American dream, and that's all I have to say. I just want to thank you very much. I want to thank you very much. And I look forward to hearing from some of the folks at the table and some of these people that I know I have great respect for. All of you I've heard of in one way or another, and I want to thank you all for being here. Really, it's a great honor, and Artie, it's an honor meeting you. And maybe we'll start with our governor, our great governor. And Doug, please say a few words.
Let me thank you.